Hey guys, Justin here with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the MBRP 3-inch Armor Pro Street Series catback exhaust, available for all 2015 through 2023 non-active Mustang GTs. Now the MBRP Armor Pro Street Series with the carbon fiber tips here is the company's absolute cream of the crop system when we're talking about the Canadian-based company's rather expansive lineup. Now this thing will include things like an absolutely premium build with 304 grade stainless, nice deep aggressive tone overall, baller carbon fiber tips, and everything is going to be backed by a lifetime warranty. So let's just jump right into the sound clips you guys can expect here with the MBRP bolted up. And as I mentioned earlier, you are getting that iconic deep muscle car tone that is not crazy loud overall, but it certainly still has a good amount of bark. Now, I'd say for my money, going back to that tone, this is probably one of the deeper sounding systems overall when we're talking about for the later gen Coyote Mustangs. So breaking out my Wake the Neighbor scale, what does this all mean? Well, I'm gonna go with a combination of that deep tone, considerable volume, soft 4 out of 5 here on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Again, certainly no slouch in the volume department, but at the same time, it's not gonna be a peg the scale kind of loud like MBRP's more aggressive race version, but it's certainly gonna still turn a few heads. Now, because this is a deeper tone overall, I think one that does have a little bit more presence inside the car while cruising, kind of fades over that 60 to 70 mile RPM range when you're just kind of cruising, but it is noticeable, especially when you're laying into it a bit. But moving into the construction, and as I mentioned earlier, this system really does check all the boxes and in my opinion is the top of the food chain in regards to other MBRP offerings for the S550. Now for starters guys, this is the Armor Pro system, so you're getting that premium 304 grade stainless steel throughout, the absolute best at resisting long-term corrosion, and a material that does receive a limited lifetime warranty because of its corrosion resistance. Now from there you are getting 3-inch mandrel bent tubing essentially from tip to tip here guys, and that does include your incorporated H-pipe that does take the place of your factory resonator. Everything works its way down the system here to the Street Series mufflers, and then the exclamation point here, at least with this particular system, is going to be the 4-inch slash cut tips here. You're getting kind of a 304 inner with a very cool carbon fiber sleeve for the outer. So it definitely delivers a very unique look, especially when compared to your more traditional chrome or polished tips. Now with that premium 304 grade stainless steel here, along with those carbon fiber tips, lifetime warranty, all that good stuff, this MBRP is gonna come in just north of that $1,500 price point. Again, this is the most expensive MBRP system for the non-active GTs currently on the site. However, with all that being said, and with all of the perks that this thing is giving you, it's still far more affordable when compared to other systems on the site, such as the Corsas, the stainless work systems, the boreless systems. So overall, yes, it's a little higher in the price spectrum compared to other MBRP systems, but when you measure this against some of the other 304 high quality systems in the category, you're gonna be saving about $1,000 give or take. So I'm certainly a big fan of the MBRP for delivering the goods, but still keeping the price in check overall. All right guys, last but not least, let's talk install here. And because this is a bolt-on job, solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, taking me a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. Obviously, all of your work is done underneath the car, so just figure a way to get the car in the air, jack stands, lift, whatever you have access to, and after that, you're basically looking at a few sockets and wrenches. But to give you a better idea of how exactly this one will go down at home, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
First install, you need a 3/8 impact, a 3/8 extension, a 13 and a 15 millimeter socket, an exhaust hanger tool, and a mallet. And also not shown would be a lift and pull jack. All right, today we're gonna put an exhaust on our Mustang, but first we're gonna watch a video how to install a stock system, and then we'll come back here to install a new one.
All right, first step here, we're gonna loosen up the 2 clamps holding our factory resonator pipe, or really the entire exhaust, to our factory headers. Now in order to do that, grab a 15 millimeter deep socket, and we're not gonna remove the nuts, just loosen them up a good amount so that they can move freely. All right, next step, we're moving toward the rear of the vehicle, looking at our rear subframe. there are 2 hangers holding the exhaust up to the subframe here. Now, instead of trying to pop these hangers out of the isolators, because doing that and then getting them back in is gonna be pretty tough. Instead of doing that, we're gonna remove these 2 bolts from the frame and then twist down the hangers off the frame. So grab an extension and a 13mm socket. I'm gonna go right over the rear sway bar and get these 2 bolts off. Once you have those off, lift up and unhook it and bring it down. There's a little locking tab here that hooks right into that. So you're just gonna lift up and rotate it off. Next up, I got my buddy Jared to help me out here. This is definitely a 2-person job. Have 1 person at the tips or the mufflers. I'm gonna be over here just tapping those clamps to the side, and we'll set it aside all in one piece.
All right, we just need to take a few things off the stock exhaust. We need to take our front clamps and our hangers. So the clamps, they just simply slide off. And then our hangers, we're gonna grab our exhaust hanger tool, just slide them off. And then we can put these all back on the car. All right, we're just gonna put our hangers back into place. They just hook over, and we're just gonna reinstall our 2 13mm nut bolts. And then we're just gonna reinstall our 2 13mm bolts. Grab our impact with an extension and a 13mm socket. All right, we're just gonna slide our clamps back over our front of our pipe here. There is a locking tab. As you'll see, there's a stud there that it'll just lock over. Slide them back in place, and now we can start installing our new system. All right, now we can put on our first section of our exhaust, our H pipe. What we're gonna do is just slide it over the stock clamps, get a pull jack just to support the weight. All right, next we're gonna put our S-curve on here on the passenger side. So we're gonna start with putting our clamp over our pipe, sliding this over, and you'll see where the hanger will line up. We're gonna put our hanger back on, hanging into place, and then we can reinstall our 13mm bolt. All right, you just do the same thing for the other side. All right, so now we're gonna put our muffler on. First thing we're gonna do, put our clamp over, put it into our hanger first, and then we can slide it over. All right, you just repeat for the other side. All right, now before we put our tips on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in the front and work our way backwards and tighten all of our clamps and adjust everything as needed. All right, we're gonna start with our front clamps. We're gonna tighten our 4 bolts, they're 15mm nuts. All right, we're gonna come back to our next 2 clamps. They are 15mm nuts also. So once you get them adjusted properly where you want, tighten them down. All right, now we have our last 2 clamps for our mufflers. Once again, get them adjusted properly how you want and then tighten them down. They're also 15mm nuts. All right, now we can put our tips on. They're just gonna slide over. You can put them as far in as you want, but once you get them in a spot that you like, you can tighten them down. And we're gonna tighten down our 13mm bolt. All right, you can just repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, and that wraps up our install of our MBRP Armor Pro catback exhaust with carbon fiber tips, street version for our 2018 and 2023 Mustang GT Fastback without active exhaust. And remember, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.